You can't build your happiness on somebody else's misery. So you had someone in a parking lot whose father was selling her for $1. And then to chalk it up, not only is that you didn't use any type of protection, which 429 State of Texas versus Victor Gelman. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Stacey Harrington.
For the defense.
Mr. Gelman.
And are you Mr. Gelman?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Gelman, you entered a plea of no contest on August 30th and you applied for deferred adjudication. According to the plea bargaining agreement, punishments be assessed at 6 years in the prison. There's a $2,000 fine. State is silent on your application. There's to be Chapter 62 registration and no contact with the complainant. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections to the PSI report, State?
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Defense, do you have any witnesses?
May we proceed, Your Honor?
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Gilman, going forward.
Did you want to call him as a witness or no?
Yes.
All right. Could you raise your right hand for me, Mr. Gelman? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth? So help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. You can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Victor Gilman.
Mr. Gilman, you've had an opportunity to go over what I'm holding in my hand. You're reviewing and have reviewed before we came up here and read thoroughly both the TAP evaluation, I'm holding it in my right hand, and the PSI in my left hand, correct?
Yes.
Do you remember when we were talking a few minutes ago, you had told me, and I was a little unclear, but maybe we can make it clear at this point. You were referring to the TAP, and you wanted to make a correction, and there was some type of clarification, I believe, that you wanted to point out. Is that correct? Did I understand you correctly? Under the substance abuse history?
I can't.
We can't hear you.
Just make sure you speak up.
I just couldn't remember what the question was.
Okay. The question that you were asked by the TAP evaluator,
Yes.
and they were I mentioned to you that this was a self-reporting substance abuse history, like the heading says. They're asking you about your personal use of any type of drugs, alcohol, correct?
Yes.
I understood you to say there was something you wanted to correct. Did I misunderstand you?
No.
Is everything okay
Yeah.
on this?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you. Mr. Gilman, if you were, I see that your permanent address lists you in Lebanon, Ohio. Can you tell the court do you have any current address? Where, in other words, if you're on probation, where would you be living?
19126 Salado Canyon.
Salado Canyon, is that here in San Antonio,
Yeah.
Texas? And who would that be with?
My parents.
Your parents are here? Okay. And are there anyone underage at that address?
No.
Just you and your parents would be there?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have brothers and sisters here in San Antonio as
No.
well? How long have your parents been here in San Antonio?
5 years.
5 years. Okay. So your Lebanon, Ohio address was your previous address is all this means when you asked that question about your permanent address, right?
Right.
And the current address, of course, lists you in the Bexar County Jail, but I wanted to clear up that you did have a local address, correct?
Yes.
Mr. Gillen, were you working when you were arrested on this case?
Yeah.
What were you doing?
Food delivery.
Well, okay. Tell me a little bit about that. Was it from a restaurant, a grocery store?
Oh, no, it's independent food delivery.
Independent food delivery? Was it from a company? And if so, what was it?
Yeah, Uber Eats.
Uber Eats. So did you drive a vehicle to make those deliveries? Your own vehicle? Or how did that work?
My own.
Okay. So people would order food. Uber Eats would pick it up and you would take it. So, right? Was that a steady job?
Yes. How
How many hours a week do you think you worked? Just roughly
50.
50 hours a week. Was it a pretty decent paying job?
Yes.
Okay. Now, you realize from reading the TAP evaluation and the PSI that there's a number of things in here with regarding the issues in the case. You read all that and you accept everything that's in there, correct?
Yes.
So, Mr. Gilman, it looks like we have a case in terms of priors that is a little bit puzzling, and I think it was at the time. Maybe you can help us understand it a little bit better. when we get to your criminal history, it talks about, it looks like one case, there might have been a drug case for 160 days. Am I reading that correctly?
Yes.
Could you enlighten the court a little bit? Is that a misdemeanor or a felony case up in Ohio that you did 160 days on?
It was actually Illinois.
Illinois?
Yes. And I believe it was a felony case.
Okay, you believe it was a felony? It's talking about cannabis. That's why I was asking. So I'm a little confused, but it does list a manufacturing delivery, and the amount looks like it would have been more than a misdemeanor. But I wanted to ask for sure. So you got 24 months probation, 180 days in jail, and this is 10 years ago, right?
Yes.
Back in 2011. What is it?
10 years after.
Okay, so on the notation, terminated. I assume that's probation terminated. August 2011. Does it help to refresh the memory by? Does that make sense to you, that date in that charge?
Yes.
The only one that appears to be here out of state. Now, when it says terminated, it says 24 months probe, which is probation, starting in August 2009, and then the probation is terminated in 2011. Does that mean it was terminated successfully? Or does 180 days jail mean that's how it ended, with a bad end of your probations? Can you tell the court about that?
No, I ended the probation successfully.
Okay, so the 160 days jail was maybe time you did before you got to court, or how does that? How can you explain?
Before I received probation.
Okay, because it does say exactly 2 years later, 24 months probation terminated. So I'm assuming that means it was terminated successfully, right? Not revoked?
Yes.
Do you understand what I mean by that? Okay. Now, locally here, you have a misdemeanor, 2019, and you didn't have any probation. You got 2 days jail. Looks like it was somewhat right before COVID. I'm pointing with my finger here, 2019. Okay.
Right.
So that's the only case you've had. No other cases in the other state or locality. Okay. Mr. Gilman, do you want to be on probation?
Yes.
You make a comment in here that something about you think you'll be really good on probation. I think it's the last page, maybe. They're asking you a question, and let's see if I can find it. But do you remember what you told them?
I do.
You remember what you told them?
Yes, I do.
Can you tell the judge? It says here, I feel I will accomplish everything that is needed.
Yes.
And it's in quotes. Tell the judge what that means to you, if you wouldn't mind telling us that.
Anything needed to finish probation successfully, Your Honor, I feel like I've been able to accomplish it.
Are you a great believer in being able to do that? Do you think you can do it? You've done it once before, it looks like.
Absolutely.
Is there anything that you'd like to tell the judge with regard to her decision that you think she needs to know that we haven't brought to her about why you need to be on probation and how much you want to be on probation? Okay, but sincerely, when I talk about those,
All right, so here's the thing. Mr. Gilman, you're going to have to stop mumbling because the court reporter cannot hear you. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Defense?
sorry, Judge. Just to conclude how important this is to you, I know you've told me it is. You've opened up with me actually a lot better than you have with the judge, and I'm attributing that to you being a little nervous and concerned. Is that a fair statement?
Yes.
Is there anything else that the judge needs to know before she makes her final decision about why you need to be on probation? Anything from you?
I don't think so, Your Honor. I think I've said what I needed to.
In your statement where you're ready to throw yourself into this and do whatever you need to do exactly the way you did 10 years ago with that drug case.
Right.
Thank you, Judge. That's all we have. I'll pass the witness.
Well, we're silent, Judge. And the only thing that the state would comment on based on his questioning is it was the state's belief that his parents sold the house on Salado Canyon, moved to Ohio, and he moved with them. And he has asked his parents to come back down here should he be granted probation. And his parents have told him they cannot do that. His mom can come for a few days, but they cannot move back down here for him for while he's on probation. So I'm not sure if where the information is coming from, the parents still have the house on Salado Canyon. There was a deed transfer through the Bexar County Appraisal District showing someone unrelated to them having purchased that home.
All right. Thank you. All right.
Judge, may I conclude with
Yes.
one thing I forgot to mention? Of course, on page 4, I know the court is taking careful note of this.
Yes.
But there's been no contact made with the victim, no response on multiple times with attempts.
Yes. All right. This is what the court is going to do. The court is going to deny your application, find you guilty. There's to be Chapter 62 registration, $2,000 fine, time and money run concurrent. No contact with Aaliyah Ortiz, credit for any time served, 6 years in the prison. I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to your attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we can go off the record. Mr. Gelman, here's the thing. And I tell people this all the time, because this is what my mom and my grandmother always said to me. You can't build your happiness off somebody else's misery. So you had someone in a parking lot whose father was selling her for $1 to provide favors to people. Even if you did not know that person was, you should have still said no, because someone is selling their body for $1. And then to chalk it up, not only is that you didn't use any type of protection, which means she could have some sort of disease, or she could have given you some sort of disease. And also she could be pregnant. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
So you're going to have to make better choices, and don't ever try to build your happiness or a minute's pleasure of happiness off someone else's misery, because I'm sure that's very miserable for her. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Good luck to you.